Thank you so much for tuning into my channel, and today we're going to continue again on our topic on occultic churches, occultic Pentecostal churches. Myself, I'm in Southern Africa, and I've seen an increase in occultic Pentecostal churches. Many men and women of God from Southern Africa, they go to West Africa, and when they come back, they are preaching strange things. They are preaching doctrines that we have never heard of. So if you haven't listened to part 1 and to part 2, I kindly ask you to listen. Now we're on part 3, we're continuing to build. I don't know when I'll be ending this series, but I want to cover as much ground as I can possibly cover. Why am I doing this? Because I want you to know the truth, because the truth will set you free. The truth will set you free. We're living in the last days, and it is not time where you can afford to be ignorant, where you can afford to be just following people because they are popular, they are trending, their churches are full, they've got an appearance of being used by God. So now we are just focusing on another thing that can help you to identify occultic false apostles. Another thing that you are going to notice about these false apostles is that they are drunk. They are obsessed by having big titles. They are obsessed by having big titles. You might find that one person might have so many titles, so many big titles. They are no longer comfortable with just being called pastor or evangelist or apostle or teacher or prophet. But you might find that they've got so many big titles. One person might have 3 titles, 2 titles. And there's a title that I want to speak about in particular, this doctor title. What these men of God and women of God do, they go to unrecognized institutions that are not recognized in their countries or in the entire world, and that is where they go to shop their doctor titles. It is more like their money buys them the honorary doctorates. So someone might be called a doctor, and that title they get them from unrecognized institutions. Why are they doing that? They are doing that because they want to portray like they are so powerful, like they are so elite, like they are so educated, so that they appeal to you. Who they are physically on the outside is what they want to use to attract you, to lure you into their falsehood. If someone can lie about an honorary doctorate and they know very well that they were given by a bogus institution, yet they are still using it, it means that they feed on lies. And how can you trust them with your life when people lie about things that are so plain? So they love to go and shop for honorary doctorates because they want to feel like so powerful. They want to feed their ego. They want to appear so high and exalted. They want to appear so powerful. So to be powerful, they load titles on themselves, big titles on themselves. There's something that I want to tell you, children of God. If you have got a real encounter with Jesus, if Jesus has really called you, genuinely called you, there's something that happens in your life. You get a sense of nothingness. You feel like you are nothing. You are the least of all God's apostles. You feel like you are the least of all the servants of God. It's like God breaks you to a point whereby you just understand that I'm just a servant. I'm not better than another person. I'm not even better than the people that I'm pastoring. Who I am, I'm just a servant of the living God. I was just handpicked by God to be used by God, but there's nothing really special about me. That is why in the old times you notice that many, even the Smith Wigglesworth, they were comfortable being called brothers. If you look at men like Gibile Akani, he's comfortable being called brother. I'm not saying that it is wrong for you to be called by a title, but these false apostles are so drunk of titles, are so obsessed by titles. And they don't care if those titles are true or they are false, whether they got awarded those titles by bogus institutions or not. They don't care. They love big titles, pride, because the doctor title, it feeds on their ego. It feeds on their pride. Then my question to you and me is, what are they teaching their followers? They are teaching their followers that it is okay to lie as long as you are achieving your goals. It's okay to fake who you are as long as it makes you get what you want. It is okay to lie as long as it gives you respect. Everything about the kingdom of darkness, it is based on lying and more lying. They cover their lies by more lying. They think that who they are, their titles give them a status. Yes, to those who don't know Christ, to those who are still growing in Christ, they can be attracted by that. Then another thing also on the issue of titles, because this thing of titles, it feeds on your ego. It feeds on your ego. So what they do, because they know that us people, we've got a weakness of wanting recognition, of wanting to be respected, to be known. We love high seats. They are going to give when they will tell you that maybe they'll ordain 1,000 people in their church and say you are pastors. People are not even pastors. And because you have been recognized as a pastor, maybe God never called you. They tie you using that title that they gave you. Now to leave this ministry, even if you see the falsehoods, it is so difficult for you because you are hanging on this title. You are a broken person. You are struggling with childhood traumas. But this title that they gave you is it is giving you a sense of self-importance. It is giving you a sense of you are important. It is this title that they gave you is making you to focus on that title and not for you to focus on the healing that you must have. Because as long as you are broken, when people give you a title that you know that God never called me into this office, you accept it because in you there's a void that hasn't been healed. I don't know the title that they gave you. And I'm not against the titles that they gave you. But my question to you is, did the God in heaven speak to you that you are a pastor, that you are a prophet, that you are an evangelist? Because in as much as men can tell us our callings, you have to hear for yourself. You have to hear God for yourself. You have to hear God for yourself. So titles are chains that many children of God have been tied. They'll tell you, if you don't comply to our demands, we will disordain you, we'll strip you of your title. So that title now is being used as a control machine to be controlling you. So whenever you find a man of God who's so drunk on titles, if someone doesn't call them by all their titles, they actually get offended. If you get any man of God who's so drunk on titles, just know that you are face to face with a false apostle. Yes, some of them, they started well, but along the way, they diverted. Along the way, they looked for things that feed on their ego. They looked for things that feed on their ego, things that make them feel special. That is why even in their churches, they sit on thrones. They are the center, they are the limelight. Their photos are actually there on the pulpit. As you are lifting up your hands to worship, when you open up your hands, you look forward, their photos are there. We didn't come to see the photos of the men of God or the woman of God. People are coming to church for Jesus. Maybe if you can put your photos there at the door somewhere so that people are not distracted by your images on the pulpit. These men of God, they build, these false apostles, they build their ministries around their personalities, around themselves. They want to be the focus. They want to compete with Jesus for attention, for glory, for honor. They want to receive the praises that only Jesus says to receive. Be careful of people who are so drunk of titles Titles are nothing. Your name is more important than your title. And also more so titles that you know that they are not true. You are never awarded an honorary doctorate with a recognized institution. Yet you are clinging on that honorary doctorate for dear life. We are educated. You are dealing with educated people. Some of us who are educated, you cannot lie to us. You can never lie to some of us. You might lie to other people who never advanced so much at school. But some of us, you tell us you've got an honorary doctorate. We're going to Google the institution that awarded you. We're going to check if it's even registered. And who's the vice chancellor, or what organization, what credentials do they have? Everything that is built on falsehood will continue to be protected by lies. But even as you try to protect your titles by lies and more lying, God is going to expose every lie. God will expose every lie. God will expose every lie. And the children of God are going to be set free from every lie that you have been feeding them with. Your importance is not on your title. Your importance is not on your title. Better to be called just pastor, as long as you don't have a false title attached to your name. There's no false title attached to your name. There's no false title attached to your name. But because of our desperation for power, we're going to grab all titles.